How's it going, guys? Who's back here again with some more Brawl here on MG Arena. Today, not when you're watching this, but when I'm getting around to recording this, is the day after BNR announcement. And for those of you who are newer to Magic, that's banned and restricted. Um, and I kept a bad hand because I was talking to myself. For those of you who are newer, that's what it is, right? And for those of you who've been around for a while, you know that the last few BNR announcements have been lackluster, to say the least. They just kind of. This might be a punt on my part because I am not casting these things without more lands. We keep Trialist Provisioner because it is the closest thing we can cast, and because it's gonna generate its mana. Same with Ovala. And Stork Ball saw no changes. You'd love to see that kind of thing. If we get countered here, we just quit because we are never beating a control deck on an uphill battle. GG opponent. It was fun. Um, yeah, when you get mana screwed like that and your opponent is allowed to keep their counter spells up, it's just so hard to recover. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the ban and restricted announcement. Most formats, I wanted to say 90%, but it's probably not because there aren't at least 10 formats. But most formats didn't have any changes. Brawl, Brawl is one of those formats that didn't have any changes. Um, this deck is a bit of an argumentation that maybe it should have. Uh, pause. Nope. Okay, we're actually finding a game. This deck is a bit of a exercise in argumentation that we should have, and I'm gonna do one more of these, even though like this one is a Paradox engine based deck. Not exactly the most classy of acts, but like on some level I can respect it because we don't have that many artifact combo type things going on in Historic Brawl. Like if you want to do an artifact combo in Historic Brawl, you're playing Paradox Engine. That's basically it. And there's an argument that maybe because it is just the best thing in the format, so that might be why um I was in Pilgrim, okay. Might be why uh the deck or why it's the only artifact based combo really going on. Like you can do Teshar egg type stuff, but it's not that competitive, and it's also not that popular because it's basically Teshar that does it. And Teshar alone, Related to our card is pretty steep opponent. I guess if you're Traxing every turn, it doesn't really matter. But we're gonna play Tyrus Provisioner next turn, and then on turn 4, Windswept Heath, we'll grab our Triumph, we'll get 2 treasures to jump up to 6 mana. It looks like we're gonna need it. Tireless Provisioner. Let's hope we get to keep it, because if we don't, we have to get there the old-fashioned way. Although, like, Key to the Archive also jumps us there, so it doesn't really matter the avenue that we go to get there, as long as we get there. 12? My god. I lose the second an Atraxa comes down. Um, I lose next turn. That is GG. No re. I guess I grab a white source. I don't have targeted removal. Yikes. This won't do it. We don't have that many foods. Could look for something here. This is our only option, I guess. Creatures, artifacts, enchantments, graveyards. I'll go. Hope they're white screwed. They're not white screwed. That's good to know. Hmm. CT Spark would have done it, but it doesn't right now. That is a GG. Wow. Maybe Paradox Engine isn't the problem. I'm no, I fall into the camp that it's probably more problematic than it is helpful. But like if we're winning or losing a game on turn four, the Paradox Engine is it could come up. You can Paradox Engine combo on turn four, right? Like that's possible ish, maybe. You get two mana rocks. So turn two, you play one. On turn three, you play one and then maybe a 3 mana rock. And then on turn four, you have 7 mana to work with. You play the Paradox Engine off the mana rocks. And then cast something with your remaining 2 mana to untap the mana rocks. And you go from there. That'll work, right? Like, that could do it. Preferably what you would be casting for 2 mana would draw you a card, right? So that you would have more gas, because that is 3 mana rocks, a Paradox Engine, and um, another X spell. So that's 6 cards basically accounted for. And that's rough, but I'm gonna grab my Rubius Farmir is one of my favorite sit back and control commanders. GG, apparently. This has not been a very good showcase. Um, we've had 2 losses, 1 win, and basically no games between them. Uh, because we've just been like killed on turn four twice, and then our opponent concedes on turn three. So, like that is a bit of non-games. I don't know. The one of the higher ups at Wizards said recently in an interview that they wanted to get a commander like format on Arena. And I guess it wasn't like a commander like format. It would be commander, but like that is an absurd thing to say, really, because like the wizard or not the wizard, the dev staff for Arena said that 4 player was basically not possible. With their current setup, so they'd have to do a bunch of rewrites to the game to actually make it work. Which, like, they've been talking about Arena. Uh, hmm, they've been talking about doing some Arena facelifts, at least in a couple like articles and things from WotC, but oh man, it seems rather unlikely. But of having a 4 player format on Arena would make it a lot less likely. Opponent. What are we doing? Treasure. Commander. Treasure. Treasure. Koala. If I get Wrath next turn, I will be sad. But what are the chances of that happening? It's just a black white deck with 4 mana. Red, oh, actually, like, if you look at the best colors for Wrath, white is probably the best, black is probably second best, and then red is probably, I don't know, they might be second best these days, but historically they've been about third. Because white and black both get hard Wrath, and, hmm, what card can I cast something from among them? Okay, sure. Why not? That's 8 mana, but this, I think. And I'll swing in for. Will they trade that angel in? They probably will. Hmm. I don't know. It'd be exciting to have it, but I also think it's probably too ambitious and probably not very likely, right? Because we were told that Pioneer would be on Arena at some point, and that was pretty much when Arena launched. And we have Explorer. It's not Pioneer, is it? And that was many, many years ago. So the timetables for arena development are pretty long, all things considered. Like they wanted digital only cards, and that also took quite a bit, quite a while. It didn't take an extraordinary amount of time, but it also was not very fast. So obscene amounts of treasures are going to happen if this. Would you go away? Obscene amounts of treasures are going to happen. If this dragon enters the battlefield. This dragon enters the battlefield. We will make like 90 treasures. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, opponent. Hit me with your angels, cast another one. You kind of have to sweep, unfortunately, I think. Because if you don't sweep, you're gonna make 90 treasures. It's gonna happen. So the way you do that is you copy the smog token with the Garrett, Mentor of the Wilds. The small token is legendary. So one of them auto sacks, and we can do that 6 times. So it's 6 times 14. Or is it 13? It might be 13. Might need to control because our opponent might be holding up a removal spell to deal with this problem before it becomes a problem. Opponent, I am presenting you infinite mana. It is 14-2. That is nice. Garrett is nice. He doesn't say sorcery speed, so we will make 14 times 6 tokens. And if I gotta go to my upkeep, which could happen, my first turn, I'll also get to make more. I'll keep that one. So I lied a bit. We're making about 57 tokens a cycle. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And we didn't get our Paradox Engine, but Infinite Treasures should do the job. So let's draw a card. Have I made too many tokens, Arena? It might happen at some point in this game. Arena does not like the fact that I made 224 tokens. Fair enough, Arena. Well, this is awkward because I've made infinite food. I've made infinite mana. I just have to survive to use it. So we're gonna get a Surveil land. Food. Uh, Probably not good enough, unfortunately. I don't have clues. I have food and I have treasures, and that is what I have. Uh huh. Well, let's add some more lands to the field. Get them out of our deck. Arena. I know we were talking about how old you are, but you don't gotta show your age this hard. On the battlefield. Food. I have 6 times 3. I have 24 life in the pocket for when I need it. Would making an extra 56 tokens work? Would be useful? Probably. Guess I just don't know if I need it. I don't know. Sure, opponent. Sure. We have 223 of them, and that should be enough mana for this game. Because next turn, if I untap with Zavala, I get to search every card in my deck. Well, no, I only get one activation because she taps. We looked at that. Sacrifice? Oh, I made a mistake. Made a mistake. I get the feeling that this is a Wrath attack. Or Farewell. So I'm just going to attack all of this food right now. I can't Farewell. Okay, we're good. GG. 221 treasures was enough. I think we'll end off there for right now. We didn't get to see the Paradox Engine, but it is in the deck. And it is very good. It's a secondary option to our smug based shenanigans, I suppose. Because on that board, Paradox Engine would have just untapped all of the mana dorks, and we would have made infinite mana that way. But what can you do? Either way, I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.